last night on the sports bar, some gentleman called Jamie Ohara. I'm seeing message after message after message go through this morning. Simon, Jamie Ohara, much loved here at talkSPORT, had a proposal for football, which this morning has got quite a bunch of people talking. Listen to this.
It's almost getting ridiculous, isn't it, with Norwich? You know, they're yet to win a game, and there are other teams involved in this. Now, Southampton, Burnley, Newcastle and Norwich yet to win a league match this season. Yeah. And it starts to raise the question for me. When Norwich, who've come into the Premier League again, are the whipping boys. I said it at the start of the season. I took a load of stick from Norwich fans, said, because we're going to have a go this season. We're going to, we spent money. We're going to be there. And again, they're showing that they're an embarrassment to the Premier League. We've got 1 point, and it's just ridiculous. So it raises the question. All this talk about players being fatigued, too many games, the big teams going for looking at doing the Super League, which I'm against. But I think they're starting to get the hump with irrelevant football matches. I think you could drop it down to 18 teams, and you have 18 teams, and you get rid of the dross. Get rid of the teams that are no good, and you keep killing the Premier League because it's gone to such heights now.
Okay, so I'm looking at one or two of the messages. I would just select one because the theme is very much common on this one in terms of reaction. There's Aaron, I'll just pick him out. Jamie Ohara, shut up, you're embarrassing. What's your take on that, Simon?
Want to go first, Trev?
Well, listen, I've got a lot of time for Jamie, and he's a player, or a former player that's played in the Premier League. He's even gone into management at non-league. He did quite well. He's gone on to be presenter of Sports Bar. But for me, on this occasion, he's talking a load of rubbish. I mean, I think it stinks of International Week because he's not got a lot of content. So he's gone in. He's had a right go.
Boom. Hang on. Boom.
He's gone in. He's had a right go at Norwich, Southampton, Newcastle and Burnley. He needs to give his head a wobble because you're talking about Burnley. They've been in the Premier League, 8, 9 years? Norwich went up as champions. So in any scenario that he's talking about, games that don't really mean anything and they need to make the Premier League less, Norwich would be in that league because they went up as champions. They beat Manchester City 2 years ago, the defending champions. He's talking rubbish. It literally is. He's not got a lot of content to deal with. And this is me as a fan of his. I really like him. But then you've got someone like Andros Townsend saying he's Mr. Clickbait, and that's why he's got the title.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I mean, Jamie. I've often liked Jamie's opinions because he's either definitely right or definitely wrong, but he's definite. The tragedy for Jamie is most of the time he's definitely wrong. Look, the DNA of that show is to create a content that gives you an opportunity to respond to, and it's what it is, right? And it gives us the opportunity to look really good by association, so we don't mind playing clips from that show every now and again. But Jamie's point is that you diminish the league by having teams in it that don't compete at certain times in the season. Arguably, one of the most compelling aspects of the Premier League is promotion and relegation. It's the intrigue. You have these wonderful survival Sundays or whatever they were once upon a time billed as.
Yeah.
And you see these teams that don't start the season very well that by statistics are going to be relegated by the end of the season, tragically for me, like West Bromwich Albion in the 2005 season.
Right.
That stayed up at my expense.
Yeah.
So Jamie's point is playing to a gallery, a low-level gallery of people that suggest that there's a reason for the Premier League and certain teams are not performing very well at the beginning of it. Look at Palace. 7 games in, before Roy Hodgson came in, by Jamie O'Hara's logic, Palace would not be someone you want to watch. Yet when they brought Roy Hodgson in to make a managerial change, they compete in this league. This is a fabulous league that's already been reduced once. If you suggest at the bottom of the league going to 18 teams is a solution, then soon after that the 18th team will be crap, right? And then you'll move to 17 teams, and then the 17th team will be crap by Jamie's sort of
argument.
Narnia, sort of H.G. Wells Morlock below the surface mentality that he seems to be operating in this area. It doesn't have a lot of substance. There is an element of clickbait. Trevor's probably nailed it, which is not only is there a lacking in intellect, there's a lacking in content for that show on that particular subject matter. So they've come up with this idea that we should reduce the ideals behind the Premier League. I like the Sports Bar. I'm big fans of both Jamie and Jason, and I'm very much a fan of the subject matter at times because it gets people's juices flowing. But this is for the birds. It's nonsense. It's silly. It doesn't make any sense. The Premier League is a great league. Teams at the top can beat teams at the bottom can beat teams at the top for the duration of the season. You can easily pick a Norwich out and say, well, look at the state of this. They haven't won 16.
Yeah.
But that is not That's not respective of the other 2 or 3 teams that he's suggesting should be dropped out of the league. It's wrong. It's silly. It doesn't make any sense.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.